And hello, and thank you for joining with us live at the local San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium on this week 4 of the San Luis City Trojans versus the Ducks on this week 4 Tuesday night NHL hockey game for today. Thank you for joining with us once again with a record for today for the Trojans being 2-1 for today on this week 4 with the Trojans versus the Ducks for today. Overall, thank you for joining with us on this week 4. In the following week, we did see the San Luis City Trojans versus the Golds last week, which was their first loss of the season so far for this regular season of the San Luis City Trojans of this 2022 regular season. Thank you for joining with us once again live for today. This San Luis City NHL event is brought to you by Pepsi and Pepsi Cola. Refresh your delight for today's San Luis City NHL hockey game. Thank you for joining with us once again. Looking absolutely awesome in the San Luis City main area for today for this 2022 year. We'll be introducing lots of brand new events coming up in the next following weeks towards the end of January into the month of February of 2022. So thank you for joining with us live once again with the Trojans versus the Ducks. Thank you for watching your local NHL Tuesday night hockey game of Tuesday night NHL hockey and a special hockey game of the Trojans at the Ducks. And thank you for joining with us live at the local San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium. Please rise for your local Legotopia National Anthem for today, live at the local San Luis City MHS of the Trojans at the Ducks for this NHL hockey of week 4 for today. Now coming down to the San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium is the San Luis City Trojans joining with us live at the local San Luis City Main Mount Ice Stadium for today. Looking absolutely awesome for this week 4 game of the Trojans versus the Ducks for today. And so far it looks like the San Luis City Trojans are coming out hot for today's NHL hockey game on week 4 for today with a 2-1 record, which is a pretty good record for the start of the season. They still got a couple more games left to determine if they can make it into that brand new All-Star game, which will be hosted live here in the San Luis City area on March 20th of 2022. So stay tuned. That'll be introduced once again. And also stay tuned for upcoming events in the San Luis City area live at the local San Luis City area. Thank you for joining with us once again. We're looking absolutely awesome for the Ducks joining with us for this Mount Ice Stadium NHL hockey game so far. The Ducks are looking forward to introducing their power against the Trojans for today. Overall on this week 4 game. With the Trojans having a little bit of a weaker and slow start to the season on week 3. did lose against that brand new Golds NHL franchise team last week with a final record of, I believe, 5-1, which was a pretty shutout game for the Golds last week against this Trojans hockey team overall. But so far the Trojans are still looking phenomenal for this week 4 against this Ducks hockey team, with the Ducks making a record right now of 1-2, which the Ducks aren't playing very good this season. So hopefully the Trojans can introduce a very big scoring game for today for the start of period 1 for today at the San Luis City MHS and Mount Ice Stadium for today, an introduction to period 1 for today. So far the score is 0-0, Trojans at Ducks. Please stay tuned for upcoming clips on period 1, and thank you for watching your local San Luis City NHL hockey games. And now moving on to the mid part of the first period for today, the Trojans at the Ducks, and it looks like the Trojans are making a big score point for today against this Ducks hockey team. So far the score will be 1-0 so far, with making a big goal right at the mid part of this first period for today. Trojans at Ducks so far looking absolutely awesome for today's San Luis City NHL hockey game at the MHS. Please stay tuned for upcoming events. Tomorrow we'll be introducing the local San Luis City Winter Carnival Day, which will be hosted live at the local San Luis City Main Street downtown area, which will be introducing live music in the San Luis City Main Street downtown. We will be introducing a secret band joining with us live in the San Luis City Main Street downtown. So stay tuned for that upcoming event, which will be tomorrow, January 23rd, I believe, or sorry, 26th. So stay tuned. Live at the local San Luis City area and MHS for today. So far in the San Luis City department area for today. Thank you for joining with us. I'm John Lees, presenting today's second event of the NHL hockey games for today. If you guys are interested in regular real-life hockey games, please go check those out on your local NHLhockey.com or NHL.com and view your favorite team in your area. Most hockey teams are in the United States of America, but part of them do go into Canada as well. So go check those favorite teams of yours now on NHL.com. Thank you for joining with us. So far, our score is 1-0. Trojans are 1 and the Ducks are 0. And now moving into the end part of the first period so far, it looks like the Trojans are making another score point onto the scoreboard for this first period so far, with a pretty shutout game for this first period so far of the against the Ducks for tonight's NHL hockey game. So far it's going to be 2-0. Trojans having 2 goals for today. Nice goal at the end right there for number 23 right there for the San Luis City Trojans, who are joining with us for today in the San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium for today. Please stay tuned for upcoming events. We'll be introducing Super Bowl number 8, which will be hosted live here at the local San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium. Part of the Mount Ice Stadium is already kind of decorated for the upcoming Super Bowl. They're getting slowly ready for that Super Bowl, which will be coming up in about 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that upcoming event in the San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium. So far, once again, score is 2-0. Thank you for watching. We'll be introducing the second period and the local highlights of the first period, introduced by John Jr. for today's NHL hockey game. And thank you for joining with us for today's halftime or first period highlights for today. I am John Jr. presenting today's NHL hockey game highlights for today of the Trojans versus the Ducks on this week 4 NHL hockey game for today, with a nice record so far, with the Trojans ending the first period overall with 2-0 right now, winning this one by 2 goal points at the beginning of the first period, making a big score point against this Ducks hockey team, making it 1-0 at the beginning to mid part of the first period overall, and then moving on to the end of the first period with the Trojans making another goal right before the end of the first period, making it 2-0 so far. Looking absolutely awesome for the San Luis City Trojans for today. Thank you for joining with us live at the local San Luis City MHS. We're glad to introduce the local San Luis City NHL hockey games.
We'll be introducing more like these in the future. So please stay tuned once again for upcoming NHL hockey games and NHL products itself into the San Luis City Legotopia area itself. So thank you for joining with us. Please stay tuned. Those are your local highlights for today's NHL hockey game. Please stay tuned for your local San Luis City Trojans versus the Ducks for today, with the Ducks record being pretty sucky one actually for today, but overall the Ducks are looking forward to trying to win this against this Trojans hockey game or hockey team as well. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more on the local San Luis City Trojans versus Ducks.
And moving on to the start of the second period for today of the Trojans versus the Ducks. So far, the score is still 2-0. Trojans at Ducks for today. Trojans are looking forward to adding some more score points onto the scoreboard right before the end of the first or second quarter or second period for today of the Trojans at the Ducks. So far, looking absolutely awesome for today. The Trojans are looking very powerful against this Ducks hockey team. Overall, with the Ducks not looking so well against this Trojans hockey team in the San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium overall. So looking absolutely awesome in the San Luis City MHS NHL hockey games for today. Overall, please stay tuned for upcoming Sangno events. As always, we'll be introducing lots of brand new events in the San Luis City area. But today's Sangno City event is brought to you by McDonald's. Get your fresh McDonald's Big Mac and favorite drinks at the local San Luis City McDonald's, which is right outside of the Mountain Ice Stadium. So when you exit today's Mountain Ice Stadium hockey game, go check out that local San Luis City McDonald's outside of the San Luis City Mountain Ice Stadium. Thank you for joining with us once again live at the San Luis City area. Please stay tuned for upcoming events. Trojans versus the Ducks. And now moving on to the mid part of the second period for today. So far the Trojans are winning this one by another score point. It is 3-0. So far a pretty shutout game for today of this Trojans at Ducks game for today. So far the Trojans making a nice goal point right before the end, or right into the mid part of the second period for today, looking absolutely awesome. And this will be the final clip of the second period, because we only do 2 clips for the second period. We'll be introducing local highlights presented by John Jr. for today, coming up very, very soon. And right after that, we'll be introducing the final period, period 3 for today, or the third period itself of the Trojans at the Ducks. So thank you for joining with us once again live at the San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium, live for today with the local San Luis City, a local Ducks mascot joining with us for today, playing on the Ducks side for today. So thank you for joining with us live at the San Luis City MHS. Score is 3-0.
And thank you for joining with us for the end part of the second period for today. So far, the Trojans have made another score point right before the end of the second period itself. We did not show the clip of them making the score point itself, but making them 4-0 right now. Very shutout game for today, making it 3-0 on the last following clip. But right before the end of the second period, they made a big goal point against this Ducks hockey team overall, making it 4-0 overall. Looking absolutely awesome for the San Luis City Trojans, making a big comeback for today's Week 4 NHL hockey game compared to last week when they were going against that other team, which I believe was the Golds last week. That was one of the biggest losses I've ever seen from the Trojans this season overall. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing the Trojans come back once again on Week 5 against the Dragons, which will be coming up very, very soon. We'll be introducing the schedule popping up here right now. But yeah, overall looking absolutely awesome for the Sanger City Trojans hockey season and hockey career so far, with the Trojans having up to #1 ranking right now for the hockey regular season league of the NHL Hockey League of the Legotopia area for today. So they're looking absolutely awesome. Once again, thank you for joining with us at the Sanger City Mount Ice Stadium. We're glad to introduce more events like these in the future. Please stay tuned for upcoming Super Bowl #8, which will be introducing local halftime favorites of Maneskin and the Rolling Stones. That will be joining with us then, so stay tuned. We're very excited for that brand new concert type of event coming to the San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium. Thank you for joining with us. Once again, score is 4-0, and now on to the start of the third period and the final part of today's NHL hockey team.
And now moving on to the start of the third period for today. So far the Trojans are winning this one by another score point for today, making it a 4-0 game for today. Trojans are shutting out the Ducks for today on this Week 4 NHL hockey game so far, with making a big goal point right before the end of the second period right there, right before making a big highlight right there for the John Lees right there for this Week 4 NHL hockey game overall. Looking absolutely awesome in the San Luis City MHS for NHL hockey on Week 4 for today. Looking absolutely awesome for today. So thank you for joining with us live once again. San Luis City Trojans versus the Ducks. So far today's Sango event is brought to you by the local San Luis City In-N-Out Burger. Go check out your local San Luis City In-N-Out Burger, which is also outside of the San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium, which is the western part of the Mount Ice Stadium, right next to the local San Luis City Clock Tower. So go check that out. Right outside of the San Luis City Mount Ice Stadium itself. With Trojans at Ducks for today, Week 4. Thank you for joining with us. Stay tuned for more Legons. We'll be introducing the mid part of the third period and then introducing the final part of today's NHL hockey game. Thank you for watching Trojans at Ducks. And now introducing the mid part of the San Luis City Trojans versus Ducks hockey game. So far the Trojans are introducing a very shutout game for today, for Tuesday night hockey game for today, Trojans versus Ducks, with the score right now being 5-0, with a big score game for today for the Trojans for the first time for this regular season overall. This is the biggest points we've seen so far for this overall season and franchise of the Trojans so far, shutting out the local Ducks for today in the San Luis City MHS with a 5-0 game. We'll be introducing the final clip for today, upcoming clip very, very soon. So thank you for joining with us. Trojans versus the Ducks, with the Ducks introducing a very sucky game for today against this Trojans hockey team. But this Trojans hockey team is having an absolutely awesome day for today against this Ducks hockey team overall, with making it 5-0 so far for today's NHL hockey game on Week 4. The Trojans will be going against the Dragons next week, which the Dragons have a pretty good record for this regular season itself of NHL hockey, making them going against the Bolts this week, actually on Week 4. So they'll be introducing a different type of game for that Week 4 game for the Dragons. But the Trojans will be going against the Dragons on the next following week on Week 5. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining with us live at the San Luis City MHS. And with the final score of 6-0 with the Trojans versus the Ducks, with the final score for today, with a big win for the Trojans for tonight's Tuesday night hockey game. Overall, looking absolutely awesome for today. Thank you for joining with us once again at the San Luis City MHS. We're glad to introduce these brand new NHL hockey games in the San Luis City area for the month of January into February and on to March of 2022. So thank you for joining with us for this brand new year, for the Trojans' brand new franchise hockey team joining with us at the local San Luis City Mountain Ice Stadium for today. Looking absolutely awesome, with the final score being 6-0 with a big shutout game with that big final score and big goal right there for the Trojans versus the Ducks, with the Ducks making 0 points on this score for today on week 4 for the Trojans versus the Ducks. This is a pretty historic game for the Trojans for today. So thank you for joining with us, Trojans versus Ducks, with the final score being 6-0. Thank you for watching and signing out to you folks for today, live from the Saginaw City Lego Tobia capital of the Saginaw City Trojans for today. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.